Hi guys, so welcome to the course. Excuse my red background. It's winter in England and there's a Himalayan pink rock salt lamp that's making me go red. So um, let's cut to the important part of how you design your marketing strategy. So as a business owner, you need to decide which channels are going to work for yourself. And so in my experience over the years, there are two main channels that every business owner or business will pretty much use 100% of the time. And that is Google and Meta ads. All right. They're like the two main paid channels. All right. So you've got paid, you've got organic. Difference between paid and organic is really, some people say that you don't have to pay for organic, but you do. SEO is an organic channel, but you have to pay to actually get SEO to work, whether that's in time or buying backlinks. I'll explain all of that at another date. I want to keep things nice and simple. So there's two main channels, Google Ads. Let me just, Google Ads, Meta Ads. These are the two channels you need to focus on. The difference between the two is Google is a demand capture and Meta is demand generation. All right. The difference between demand capture and demand generation, you can see it on one of the other modules, but basically demand capture is demand that is already there. If someone types in on Google, for example, black shoes, you're not generating that demand. The consumer generated that demand and they probably had a need for black shoes at the time. You're just capturing that. So that's how Google works. So on Google, you've got Google Ads, you've got search ads, shopping ads, you've got YouTube now as part of the same network. You've got display ads, which most people don't really use anyway. You've got other marketing channels such as PMAX. These two here are the ones that you need to focus on predominantly. Okay, I'm gonna put that in like green. All right, they're the two main kind of channels you need to focus on. YouTube's a great one though, so spend a bit of time on that. But again, want to keep things nice and simple. On Meta ads, it's not as there's not much of a breakdown between the different kind of marketing or campaign types. So really, you've only got DPA ads. Basically, ties to your catalog, So that's for e-commerce. For lead gen, you've just got kind of form fields. So lead gen, we'll just leave it like that. And then you've also got kind of brand awareness stuff, which is where you use like videos predominantly to get some reach, get people to become familiar with your brand. Again, if you're in e-commerce, use the DPA. They call it different names, but basically it just ties to your catalog. The great thing about Meta ads nowadays is you really only need kind of one campaign, especially if you're a new business owner. The main thing is the creative. Again, I'm going to try and keep things focused on how you design your marketing strategy. Lead gen is obviously self-explanatory, and brand awareness is something you can do at a later date when you've got kind of money to waste or experiment with. All right, so what I would start off with if you're a new business owner is first of all look at search ads. And then if you're in the e-commerce space, I would make shopping ads your main campaign. So for example, main campaign for e-commerce businesses, main campaign for lead gen, and second priority for e-com. We'll keep it nice and simple there. All right. After that, when you design your marketing strategy, you've got the two channels there. So you can either pick one or pick two, but I would start off with Google Ads and then kind of build out into Meta. Might be the other way around. After that, you need to focus on what's kind of your USP in marketing. All right. So we talk about USP a lot. So USP is, I'm not going to say the definition of it, unique selling point. I'm just going to put what makes you different to other businesses out there. All right. Now, if we use the example of, let's say, fashion brand. Fashion brand might have a USP because their clothes are completely different to what's out there. Nobody's seen clothes like it before. And that would be obvious in the image of what the product looks like. For example, everyone's going to see that these clothes are different. Something that's slightly different, if we take, like, let's say a local business, a dentist, for example. Now, dentist is, let's say, a commodity. There's a lot of dentists out there. What makes your local dentist better than the 5 other local dentists out there? Could be that one, he's or she has got certain certification, it's got a different kind of technology that they use. Could be that you've got millions and millions of reviews. Could be that you studied at a very prestigious university. Could be that you provide the best before and after testimonials, teeth before, teeth after working with you. So these are all kind of different angles that you can look to do, and you can actually apply multiple angles. You don't have to just focus on one, but you need to test it. And so let's say for a skincare brand, skincare brands, there's a spectrum. Like, for example, today I bought a Korean skincare brand that's produced from snail slime. That's like the USP because it's moisturizing, and it's got like 10,000 reviews. It's one of the best-selling skincare products that's ever existed. We'll wait to see if it works. But that's a USP, all right? And it got me because, one, I saw the reviews, and two, I thought, this looks, if I think about snail slime, it looks hydrating, I guess. And, the texture definitely, when I tried it today, is like that. So let's see. But that's like a USP, for example. So going back to designing your marketing strategy, you've got the 2 channels there that I would focus on. There are other channels as well that you've probably heard of. If we talk about organic marketing now, all right. So the 2 above, Google and Meta, are paid. And now we're going into organic. But honestly, there really is no difference between paid and organic. You have to pay eventually. Email is one way, there is kind of a middle ground, a grey area. All right, so you've got email as an organic marketing channel. You've got SEO. You've got just social media posting. If you think about just posting to your Instagram page or Facebook page, YouTube, it doesn't actually cost anything. YouTube posting. But these are not ads, all right? They're not paid ads. That's the difference. I think that when people say organic versus paid, you need to include ads at the end of organic and paid ads, all right? Organic ads is something you don't pay for. Paid ads is something you do pay for. So for email, I would look to use best email tool is 9 times out of 10 Klaviyo for most cases, all right? Just going to do that. For SEO, and you can get some of these for free. Granted, they are limited in how you can use them. I'm just going to recommend one, SEMrush. I really like it. Got no affiliation. I might add a affiliate link so I can make a bit of money off of you guys. But honestly, I use these myself. And I don't even use the paid version of SEMrush. I get enough out of it. And if you sign up to SEMrush, you get like a 7-day trial anyway. So you can actually use all the paid tools for free for like 7 days. All right. So email is something you can definitely get up and running straight away. The only thing with email, obviously, email is only as good as one, number of subscribers you actually have on your email list. Obviously, the more subscribers you have, typically the more money and you're going to make from it. And 2, the quality of subscribers. So you could have 1 billion subscribers on your email list, but most of those are going to be a complete waste of time, and you'll end up actually burning your domain from where you send emails. So you just be going into spam anyway. So what I would rather have is I would rather have 100 quality subscribers who are genuinely interested in what I have to offer than 1 million subscribers who will never buy from me. That's the key thing. All right. Ways you can build your email marketing. Number one, you must drive traffic to wherever your newsletter is, whether that's Instagram, your website. Multiple channels can host your newsletter to the page where your newsletter subscribe is. Partnering with people, businesses, so you get access to their email list. Okay, and I'll just leave it at that. I'm going to keep it nice and simple. For SEO, I've got a separate module for this that goes into a lot of detail, so I'll leave it at that. But again, I'm just kind of giving you an overview to design your marketing strategy. And so you need to decide now, one, how much money do you want to allocate to your marketing? All right. And the way you decide this is obviously how much you've got in your bank account. The actual better question is how much you're going to allocate to each marketing channel. And so what I would do is opt for, and you can do the split either way, 60 to 70% on one channel, which is Meta, and then 30 to 40% on, right, I'm just going to make it a little bit more simple, on Meta, and that can be vice versa. All right, so you could do 60% on Google and then 40% on Meta. All right, cool. So your budget, ideally you spend no less than, I'm going to be honest, I'll do it in dollars. I really wouldn't, I'm going to do a minimum, but really I wanted to say $100. Spend no less, because $75 is really just one campaign, if that, potentially two. Ideally, you spend no less than $75 per channel per day. I recommend you fully commit and spend a few $100 on each marketing channel, or just go all out on one channel. All right, I'm going to leave it at that. But yeah, that is kind of an overview. And I know it's not fully designing your marketing strategy, but this is the question I get asked the most is, what channels should I market on? How much should I spend? What is the difference between paid and organic? What is SEO? I just want to keep it quite basic. And I'll leave it there for the time being, okay?